Good evening, I'm Pallavi Ghosh. You're watching the explosive weekend debate with me. You know, in a recent study, Kolkata was described as one of the safest cities in the country. In fact, West Bengal is considered to be a heaven till recently as far as the safety of women is concerned. But it's been just over a year since the horrific RG Medical College rape and murder case. There was another one of another law student who was raped brutally in near Kolkata. But lessons don't seem to have been learned. The thing is that there's been yet another rape of a student from Orissa in Durgapur outside a hostel late into the night. The response coming in from the state government seems to be predictable. In this case, the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, just months ahead of elections in the state in 2026, has stoked yet another controversy. She has made 2 points. One, why is it that the girl had to come out so late into a night from her hostel? And second, women must also be careful and they must learn to take care of themselves. As expected, the BJP has attacked her, called her being anti-women and shifting the blame onto the victim. What is even worse is the fact that till recently she was the only woman chief minister in a long time in the country. The Trinamool Congress has always prided itself as being the only national or political party which has sent the maximum number of women to parliament. They give the maximum number of representation to women politicians even at the assembly session. In fact, if you look at the overall picture of the Trinamool Congress, there's no denying the fact that it's heavily women tilted. But why is it that this comment of Mamata Banerjee seems to have stoked so much of controversy? She's questioned the college authorities, which may be considered legitimate enough, but not completely. She's also gone on to say that a woman must learn to take care of herself. But the BJP says that she happens to be a habitual offender. Whether it was the Park Street rape case, whether it was the RG car case, eventually she's always held the victim responsible. And why so? That's the big question which we are going to be debating later this evening with my entire panel of guests. That has Mamata Banerjee shown an anti-woman mindset? Was she wrong in shifting the blame on the victim and asking her to take care of herself? And for how long will the politicians indulge in whataboutery when it comes to crime against women?
আপনার গেট কাছে তো গেট কাছে নিয়ে গেছে আমরা তারপরে ও কি দুজন না তিনজন লোক এসে যখন তিনজন লোক এসে গেছে ও ছাড়িয়ে সেখানে ওকে পালিয়ে এসেছে
especially the girl child at night time they should not be allowed to come out in the outside. They have to protect themselves also.
This kind of Talibani mentality is shameful. Actually, you have always been protecting the rapists and you have been cursing us, the victims. Because these rapists are your TMC cadre.
This is the kind of mentality. It's an anti-woman mindset. It's a Mati, Manush, Mahila Virodhi mindset.
Okay, so we're going to go across to our panel of guests this evening. There's Brinda Adige, a woman rights activist. There is Manojit Mondal, he's a political analyst, and of course Shehzad Poonawala, spokesperson on the BJP. I'm going to ask this question first to you, Mr. Mondal. How can the Chief Minister say that a woman has to take care of herself, and why did she go out of the hostel late into a night? You mean to say she should only go out in the afternoon and early evening, not late into a night?
First of all, I take strong objection to the kind of distortion of the words of the Chief Minister that your channel is putting up. She has clarified in Bengali, and I am surprised, despite knowing Bengali yourself, you are not really showing the entire statement of the Chief Minister. She has categorically stated that the girl is a hostelite, and the hostel, in every educational institution, the hostels do have some discipline. That after certain point of time, especially after 9-10 o'clock at the night, the girls are not supposed to go out. That's the hostel system, because she is a student of first year. Even we studied a hostel, we also had a discipline. The same discipline is still there, right? So fact number one. It's not that she is talking about the girls should not come out of house. Women should not come out of it. That's the way you are making it out to be. Whereas the statement is that in a hostel, if the authorities, college authorities are there, if they don't know about the whereabouts of the girl, this is also their responsibility. While there is CCTV inside the campus, outside the campus, if two people are going out of the campus at night, the college authority should have been informed, or they should have taken responsibility. Yes, they can go out, there can be emergency even after 10 p.m. But therefore the college authorities must be informed, police authorities must be informed. That's what she wanted to mean, and she had clarified in a Twitter and even in a Bengali statement. Please do not, for God's sake, distort her words and let us not politicize. We all know that the same kind of brutal rape happened 2 days ago in Lucknow when one minor was gang raped. I do hope and pray that you also have the same alacrity and promptness to show this kind of incidents. Same thing happened in Odisha. In front of a principal's chamber on broad daylight, a girl had to burn herself down.
Because that was a top story for many days, Mr. Mandal.
Because
that was a top story for many days.
Threatened by the teachers. Look, in Benares Hindu University, one girl was raped inside the campus, and the perpetrators were seen with the Prime Minister, none other than the Prime Minister. So this is a patriarchal, nauseating patriarchal mindset that leads to rape. This is not a political issue. This is a social evil which we must fight unitedly. All the political parties, whether ruling dispensation or the opposition, they must unite to have this kind of stringent laws to fight the cases instead of politicizing or nitpicking or have selective kind of approaches. Let us assume, let us understand, I repeat, that we still have medieval patriarchal mindset, especially the men. It is ultimately the men who rape. This is a very fact of life, and we have to acknowledge all the men needs to be taught lessons because they are the rapists, not the other way around. So this is a patriarchal crime, and it has to be dealt with socially, not politically always. Please do not, for God's sake, I repeat, please do not, for God's sake, politicize. And if you talk about all the other rapes in Bengal, Kamduni, Park Street, it is the Bengal police or the Kolkata police. They have given justice to the people. You talked about RG Kar. Even in case of RG Kar, within 12 hours, the perpetrator was arrested. What CBI has done? Even in this case, within 24 hours, all the 3 accused have been arrested. So the police is taking action. The state is doing its job. But the college authorities, in the hindsight, please ask yourself, Ms. Ghosh, if this incident were to happen in a government-owned medical college, what would you do? Won't you question the college authorities? You will ask the question of college authorities. That's what you did in Arjikar, and rightly so. But even in this case, the college authorities statement, please bring out the statement of the college authorities. They are also saying the same thing, that they did not know that these two boy and girl.
Mr. Mandal, your point is fair, but in the case of Arjikar, let me remind you that the principal was also transferred to another college. It was not like immediately an action was taken against him. There's a lot of media pressure, and this is being questioned. And as a woman, I don't need
college authorities also.
Okay. Mr. Mandal, now I'm going to go to Shehzad. But Mr. Mandal, I'll come back to you. Shehzad, maybe Mr. Mandal, in fact, I think he does also have a point that somewhere down the line, even the college had to take responsibility. They had to ensure, was there a CCTV camera there? Were there enough lights? Why did the guard allow the girl to go out? At least he could have asked her where you're going. And there's a thin line between her private and public life and so on and so forth. Now, my point over here, Shehzad, is that is the BJP then accused and being accused on, is it rightly so, of politicizing rape in Bengal and making a hue and cry about it, and not so much when it comes to, say, a BJP ruled state?
Pallavi, you have been so charitable with Mr. Mandal. You gave him at least 4.5-5 minutes. So I hope he will not interrupt me when I make my submission. First of all, Pallavi, let's assume for a moment that all the rules were broken by the girl. She stepped out at night post 12 a.m. Does that mean that it's a license to be raped in West Bengal? Is that what we are saying, that the law and order situation in West Bengal is so bad that if a girl steps out of her hostel or her college at 12 o'clock in the night, then she is entitled to get raped? I mean, I cannot believe that this is an excuse that is being given. Secondly, the jury is out on whether she stepped out at 8 o'clock, and that's not relevant. What is relevant is West Bengal so unsafe for any woman at any point of time to step out? By the way, the RG Kar victim was raped inside a medical college, and at that time, the government of West Bengal took out a directive that women should not be made to do night shifts in the hospitals, and the Supreme Court chastised them, saying that what kind of sense is this? They need to be given equal opportunity. You can't punish them for being women. Then we have seen that the Hanskhali rape took place when a 14-year-old girl was raped. Mamata Banerjee said that she has become pregnant because of a love affair. In the Park Street rape case, the victim was called a sex worker and a fabricated case. In the Bardwan rape case, it was said it was a fabricated story. In the other rape cases, it was said that it is a CPIM conspiracy. And finally, in 2012, Mamata Banerjee came up with an excuse as to why rapes are increasing. Let me quote unquote. Rapes are rising because men and women interact more freely now. This is the mindset. It's a medieval mindset. It is a mindset that is not Ma Mati Manush Mahila. It is a mindset that says that we will protect Shahjahan and we will defame the women of Sandesh Khali. It is a mindset which says that the post-poll rape cases that take place, which the Supreme Court orders inquiry and investigations on, those victims are shamed and they are told that they are fake victims, and the accused are protected because they are TMC Karyakartas. And therefore my question today is, forget whose responsibility it is. Law and order is a situation of the state. Can a woman not step out at night in West Bengal, in Durgapur, in other parts of West Bengal post 12 am? Is Mr. Mondal saying that today you cannot step out if you go out at 1 am? This is a state which celebrates Durga, and they are saying that if you go out at 12 am, then you are entitled to be raped. This is what Mondal has said.
Shehzad, can I just move on now to Brinda? Because I would like to speak.
Yes,
Brinda,
yes, sure.
I want to ask you this question. You've heard both the sides. You heard what Shehzad had to say. You heard what Mr. Manojit Mondal had to say. I have a problem, Mr. Mondal, only with one line which Mamata Banerjee said as the West Bengal Chief Minister. And I heard that, and she spoke in English. So I understand English. I also understand Bangla. But I do have a problem as a woman, and please, let's not get into whataboutery, when she said a woman must learn to take care of herself. And she was saying it in the context of the hostel issue. Now, Brinda Dige, we've seen rapes happen in Manipur, we've seen it happen in Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Bengal. Let's talk about Bengal because we are talking about that today. Do you think almost every politician across party lines is guilty of politicizing and hence trivializing this crime against women?
Absolutely. Pallavi, there is no doubt that politicians across party lines trivialize rape. It is not a social evil, please tell Mr. Mondal, it is a crime. Because that's what my constitution and the laws of my land say. So you and I can't simply sit there and make a phrase saying it's a social evil. And safety of women, protecting the citizens, security of women and justice is political. Again, guaranteed by my constitution. So when you say don't politicize this, don't politicize that, safety of women, if we don't politicize, then what else can we politicize? Have we not elected you into power to take care of the citizens, to protect them? You have different departments. You have to understand that the police did not do their job. It's tragic, it's ironic. Durgapur, you're talking of a place by name Durgapur, where you are also agreeing that this woman must not come out. No, they told her why she should come out at 8 o'clock. Are these curfews allowed? Let it be between the institution and the student. You as the state are accountable for every citizen's safety, security and protection. So what happened to your police patrolling over there? What happened to any kind of supportive statement that you should be making, saying that we will ensure that security will increase, we will ensure that patrolling will increase, we will ensure that you are not put to any further trouble by the mechanisms, because now an FIR is registered, support has to be extended. You push the people, the victim and the family to such a point where they say that they don't feel safe in Durgapur, West Bengal anymore. So they're leaving the place and going. Now, is that what you're trying to say is you, a woman, you come to study outside your home, your city, your state, you take care of your safety. You be worried about your security. Nobody else is going to be worried about it. Because we are a patriarchal society, we can't tell anything to perpetrators. We can't avoid it. Why then should you even hold power? Step down. Because then somebody else can take up that responsibility. After all, nobody is asking charity from any elected representative or the executive. They are all being
fair
paid
point.
by the taxpayer. And
Mr.
have to
Mondal,
be
would you want to
accountable
respond
for
to
it.
what she has to say? Because I'm not going to ask you any other question, but I think Brinda has raised some very, very pertinent points. Would you want to respond to her?
Fair enough, but madam, when I said social evil, I tried to intensify the crime. The evil is always compared with satanic things, right? So please do not misunderstand me when I call it social evil. Doesn't mean that I'm not saying that it's a crime. Rather, I'm trying to intensify the crime. But yes, it is what I wanted to mean. It has got nothing to do with the law and order situation of a particular state. It is the problem. It is the problem that is happening in the society, and it must be dealt with in other manner also, by talking about gender equality, gender justice, and patriarchal, deeply nauseating patriarchal mindset. It has to change, because we still treat them as flesh. Women are still treated in this country as flesh. Look at what happened yesterday. Even under your nose, women journalists were not allowed to take part in.
Mr. Mondal, this is too much. What is the connection between the two?
I'm not saying this is too much. This is a fact. This is a fact. You look at what how many women prime minister presidents you have in the world? How many? Barely 6 of them. Out of 200 countries, you have at this moment only 6 women head of the state in the world. So please have some mercy and say, please understand the situation.
So we should not question because we should not question because West Bengal has a woman chief minister. Okay, fine.
I'm not saying that.
You are saying that. No, Mr. Mondal, this thing of always attacking others and you think you are perfect is also not correct. Please.
No. What I'm saying is simply this: that when it happens in some other state, you do not show the same promptness. And
how do you know? How do you know? I have done a show on that Odisha. How can you say that?
Please hang on, Miss Ghosh.
I'm going to share that.
Have another show on Lucknow immediately after this. Please have another show on Lucknow immediately after this. When a minor was gang raped, please have another show. Please, you want to selectively target Mamata Banerjee and state of West Bengal? Fine, we'll answer the question. But please, for God's sake, do not politicize every other crime that is happening here.
When you raise Manipur and Lucknow and Chhattisgarh, that's not politicizing. If we question Bengal because it happened today, we are politicizing. Shehzad, one thing which Mamata Banerjee keeps on raising is that Aparajita Act. She says that the centre doesn't seem to be very serious about it, and because that's perhaps the only way in which crime against Mr. Mondal. 1 minute, Mr. Mondal. No, I don't say hang on to me. I want you've said what you had to say, no?
Bhushan Singh is an MP of BJP.
Mr. Mondal.
Why? What action have you taken against Bhushan? BJP is still an MP.
Shehzad, no, Mr. Mondal, please. Yeah. You go on to Taliban and all that. I don't want to get into all that. Shehzad, the Aparajita Act, according to according to the Trinamool Congress, the Aparajita Act is something which has not seen a reality, and the centre is therefore not serious in protecting women. What do you have to say to that? And Mr. Mondal, please don't interrupt him.
I will not be interrupted.
No, you're not being interrupted. Shehzad, last time also you were not interrupted. Go ahead.
Nobody is interrupting you, my dear friend.
Mr. Mondal, please. Yeah. Mr. Mondal, please. Shehzad, go ahead.
You see, it's a very serious and it's a very mature debate. So I don't want to lower the standards by making ridiculous arguments. And let's take this argument on face value. First of all, do you know that the centre has given the funds to all the state governments to set up POCSO and fast-track courts for women's issues? You know, the Bengal government has not approved or has not started 11 out of the 17 courts allocated to it. Do you know the lowest conviction rates in crimes against women is in West Bengal? Much lower than the national average, and that has nothing to do with the intensity of punishment being increased. It has everything to do with the law and order functioning in a proper manner and the policing to be done in such a competent manner that there is a certainty of punishment, not intensity of punishment. Intensity of punishment is there in the BNS also. It is now we are giving the rape for Fasi ki saza for gang rape. That is not the point. The point is that today there is no law and order fear in West Bengal left, and therefore these people who are politically backed most cases, they can with impunity rape and do all kinds of things. For instance, a TMC MLA was involved in the flogging of a woman almost in the style that we have seen in Afghanistan. What happened to that person, to that MLA? The TMC defended. And here is the moot question. Pallavi, today's focus debate is only on one thing. A woman chief minister is saying that the woman should not get out after a certain hour because her safety and security is not guaranteed. And she said this many times. She has said interacting with men leads to rapes.
No.
She has said these are love affairs gone bad. She has said that sex workers can be raped. And now she's saying that if you're a doctor or you're a student, you cannot get out after a certain time or else you're entitled to be raped. This means Pallavi, you and Brinda Adige, आप 8 बजे के बाद घर में मत बाहर मत निकलिए, दरवाजा बंद कर दो. Pallavi, go back home. This is what this person wants. This Mandal wants. You should be at home at 8 p.m. वरना आपका रेप होगा. This is what their mentality is. Are we sitting in this kind of world?
Okay. I see. I'm sorry, but this is all that we really have time for today, this evening. This is something No. We will keep on discussing this because we'll keep on deciding because this whole thing will never end because everyone is going to blame the other person and this whataboutery. But thank you very much, Mr. Mondal. Thank you, Shehzad, and thank you, Brinda Adige. We're going to go into a break now, but do come back because there is going to be other news that we are going to be tracking, and that's the battle for Bihar.